we go again after I remove my mask. That was nice and easy. You see a little bit of different shades in here. That's kind of normal. And I'm gonna tell you why. Now we're gonna follow up with a nice tonic and moisturizing. The reason why the skin is red is because the clay mixed with the apple cider vinegar will activate the circulation on the face, bring all this blood flow on it. And it may be looking a little bit reddish like this for, I don't know, 10 minutes. So it feels like nice to have my face rejuvenate. I see much more plump. Hi, Mariel. So we remove the detox mask. I still have my mask on my scalp. Yeah, so this is how my face look. Actually, I like it. Oh my god, it was so leftover. I didn't do anything in a long time. Anyway, this is Ibana from Her Holistic. We have a holistic salon in Boca Raton, Florida. We are at home because of the COVID-19. And when we close, I forgot about what day is it. And I've been here like what? 10 days, 2 weeks. I don't even know the time. So having more free time, I have more time to, hey, Susan again. Yeah, so look at my face. It's a little reddish. It's because I remove it. And it's normal that the apple cider vinegar in combination with the clay kind of bring circulation to the face. So it may look a little bit kind of reddish like this for around 5-10 minutes. The type of clay I use is the white clay because it's more like it's more for sensitive skin. We have other ones like Rosrul, which is more for oily skin. But this one was the bentonite clay, which is the white clay. And a combination with other ingredients that I have. And I put charcoal too. That's why it look black. I still process it on my scalp because I want to kind of let it stay for, I don't know, 40 minutes, an hour. I mean, 40 minutes passed by already, but I think I'm going to leave it an hour. Gonna have a shower, but then it's nice and moist. So what we wear. Anyway, yeah. So I think I'm gonna apply a little bit of the moisturizing. I like Eminence products a lot. Holistic wellness, I do carry a few skincare, but because I wasn't really, I mean, my sister Diana Donovan she does skincare, and also manicures and pedicures. She goes to the salon to perform the services by appointment only, so she should be the person that is going to have more details about the how to take care of the skin. As far as what I can help you is everything regarding to health, scalp, hair, and beauty. So yes, the salon has a holistic approach. So we were talking a little bit about the differences about what is an eco-friendly salon and what is a holistic hairstylist. So as a holistic hairstylist, it's important to me to know your lifestyle, your expectations, the flexibility, and a lot of the motives, you know, what the reason, the motives you want to do this. And yeah, we have a lot of, I have a lot of my clients, I have variety actually clients for different reasons why they wanted to become holistic. But I think as a holistic hairstylist, what I like is I love the way of looking for a method and kind of finding a way to, you know, so normally, you know, I'm very good kind of like matching things, you know. I never match people for dating, to be honest with you, but I really matching, like I normally what I do is I hear you and then I match with the right brand or the right product. So I never like to be married with any particular brands in general, but I do have my favorites. And they'll be my favorites for years, but Yeah, I see a lot of my clients that come in with the scalp issues. And let's talk a little bit about a couple of my theories. I'm not a doctor, but I've been seeing a lot of people all these years. And I had, hi Vicky, and I had my theories about some, let's talk about a little bit about rosacea on the scalp. Because I noticed that I have a lot of my clients that are complaining about tingling or itchy. Hey David, how are you? We're doing a scalp detox, no color, it's a scalp detox. We are removing the toxins. I have a clay with a charcoal and essential oils and apple cider vinegar. I just did my face in my previous video. I just removed my mask. It feels nice and clean. It's a little red right now because it's normal to have that redness when you blend the clays with the apple ciders, but it will go away in around 10 minutes. This brings a lot of circulation, a lot of fire. Yes, today I was, after I having my only break, I approached to this is my daughter's bathroom, by the way, and she has the mirror with the 10 times closer. So I approached myself to it and I thinking, oh my God, I had to take care of myself. I didn't have that close look for a while. So I needed to clean it and I feel so nice actually. It feels a little hot, but I guess that is normal. So going back to the story about the scalp rosacea. So I see a lot of my clients, that I have in my practice complaining about this stinging, itching, burning sensation. And for many years, the scalp rosacea is like having these spider veins together. Kind of look like, the spider veins. So it's like a network of blood vessels. And sometimes due to hormones, when we talk about hormones, we're not only talking about sexual hormones. We're talking about also stress. We're also talking about metabolic, because we're talking about the, all the hormones regarding to diabetes, thyroid, and all that, stress. So recently I came out with a theory that kind of blew my mind. Hi, Marlene. I start noticing that some people, where they're approaching a little bit more of the change, kind of the menopause kind of thinking. Some way because the body temperature change, or people suddenly have all this high peak of stress, and your adrenal glands are producing all this kind of like your body's not shutting down. Your body is on alert all the time. Hi, Laura, doing my detox. So it's like this flash. So actually, one of the things I noticed about, I don't think so. As far as the rosacea, I don't think so the rosacea is by itself, but what is exactly what the triggers? So we have, like seasons, we have foods, we have, like different personalities. Sometimes you be too nervous, or you guys could be too upset, and that kind of triggers a response on the rosacea. I've been seeing that recently. I believe that the rosacea get how is this? I reorganizing my thoughts. Okay, we have all these blood vessels, right? Which is all these connections, and so when your body goes into the hormonal changes, or you need more, so the blood vessels dilate, and all that flow of blood goes through it. So active the metabolism, so it's pushing forward. So you have that area become overactive. So I think in a certain way, what I feel is like many people who have the rosacea, they normally found rosacea is on the face, on the nose, on the eyes, But I notice a lot of people have it on the scalp. I see a lot of those spider veins everywhere on the scalp. Sometimes people have it everywhere. Other times people have it in some areas that we call the hot spots. And I don't know, maybe you go to sleep and the pillow goes here on the back and then you get itchy. So what happens is the more you scratch, the more you stimulate, the more it itch. Because actually what will happen is the vasodilator, you know what I mean? You got my inspiration right now.
Can I go back into my room?
Can you give me 10 more minutes? I promise.
You only have one viewer.
It doesn't matter. One person is watching me and this video is going to get forever and ever in the internet. So anyway, what I was saying? Okay, all these blood vessels. So the blood vessels engorge the blood, or the metabolism is fast. And okay, what happened is we have overstimulation. So I don't think so as far as having the spider veins there are bad, is when this happening all the time, causing an overstimulation of the area. And if it's overstimulated, it become inflamed and produces all this because it's never shut off. It's always going on. So I like Ayurvedic. And I think Ayurvedic has this great approach because they kind of describe your body in three. They describe your body into three simple categories, I guess. We had the Pitta, which is a lot of fire. We had the Vata, which is no fire. And then we have something in between. But what happened with that is that also is influenced by the emotions. And you can have a very fire personality, and if you are on fire all the time, that may cause an imbalance in your body also. So it's gonna kind of, sometimes people have anxiety and also create all this. But then that wasn't really enough, because that was okay. So this was understanding the mechanism of the rosacea and why you having hair loss in that area. Well, I don't know, maybe it's a link between an overactive scalp rosacea area. It could be generalized or it could be just in a spot. And because this area is so overactive, it's always with the body temperature that is not healthy. Like the hair is like baby sprouts. And I don't know, maybe it's too much heat. When you have a lot of body heat, you sweat more. So it's, maybe an imbalance or too much oil going on. And then your body temperature change. And that become like a earwax, kind of like a 7. And then, layers that create imbalances. But recently, after reading a lot and researching about the rosaceas and all that, I found an article that was so interesting that I think that's kind of like solve this puzzle. I think the rosacea, a rosacea when it's active is related to histamine. That's the jackpot. Because I think it's a strong link here. I realized that, for instance, my son, he started having hives, and the unknown hives. But I realized his hives were coming out when he was extremely nervous. He has Asperger's, so changes are very like a big thing for him. So he gets very anxious. And when things are not supposed to be like going where he expected, or we were moving, or he may start a new class or anything, he started breaking in hives. It wasn't full, we do testing, nothing. So he was sensitive to his own histamine. So I asked the doctor, I say, well, could you, the doctor said, nah. Well, guess what? I did my big research, and there are different histamines. Hi, Claudia. Different histamine types, I guess, and receptors. You have the H1, H2, H3. So when you have an allergy, it depends if it's a skin or if it's like depend on the type of allergy, it's going to be related to a different histamine. So anyway, it's a fact, actually, but it's my theory. I said that sometimes people have what we call a histamine intolerance or a histamine overload, kind of like that. So your body makes your own histamine, because that's the body telling you, there is an strange things, in the body. So you have an allergic reaction, so your body get an alert, blah, blah, blah. So what happens is you can consume histamine. This is the boom. Because I realized there are a lot of naturally occurring histamine in fruits and vegetables. And, not only fruits and vegetables, in food, in general food. So when we were saying that rosacea were triggered by food, it's true. But actually, what was not really that particular for itself, it was the histamine contained in that particular food. Like strawberries, tomatoes, citrus. They have, so if you look into the research and you look into the natural occurring histamine, like fermented foods, vinegars, kombucha, all that wonderful things. Also, we have what we call warming herbs. Ginger, turmeric, cayenne, pepper, name it, everything. So what they call warming herbs in Ayurveda is because sometimes Vata people, the Vata who can't really have, they don't have the body temperature, they're kind of like more colder feet and hands and all that kind of stuff, may need activate the metabolism, and then you may have all these warming herbs that will bring your body heat up. But if you're a person that you already are a pitta, meaning you have your own heat going on, and you're adding an excess of more wood or more fire to it, guess what's going to happen? It's going to burn hell. And that's what happened with a lot of, I would say, rosacea triggers. And then you get a point that you are so, it's almost like a generic allergy. You're allergic to everything because your body is so inflamed at this point that you have the sensation and everything. So I do believe that histamine is one of the reasons why maybe rosaceas become overactive or triggered by. I know that, for instance, if your body, when do you produce histamine? When you're under stress or you're anxious, whatever stress is one. So your body produces this histamine as a response to resolve an issue. But then you have stress, your stress never ends, and you continue. So your hormone change, so you change the gear. You know what I mean? The fleet or run, or that is like, you change the gear, and then you always into the high gear or going, so you never shoot down to kind of balance, to resolve. So you work with your machine at full speed. So what happens is your histamine levels, naturally histamine levels may be a little higher, but then we add food like strawberries or tomatoes or gingers or whatever you want to eat on it, and that kind of overflowed. It's too much histamine in the body, and I do believe many people start having all these symptoms. And I encourage to people to look it up into histamine and rosaceas, because I think that is the jackpot, as I say. It's not just the rosacea itself. The rosacea, it is almost like I would say it's not the reason. I mean, it was a part of the reason of why you may lose some hair, or why you may have pimples, or why your scalp itches. The rosacea was the answer to it, but it was not the underlying situation. And I continue researching, I continue watching, I continue observing. And again, it was it's a theory, but I think the theory is like done deal. I've been reading a lot, and I get so excited because sharing this information with you guys, it changed the perspective about now is what you're gonna do about this. Take the responsibility and the ball in your field now. So when somebody has rosacea, or they're prone to rosacea breakouts or rosacea triggers or itchy scalps and everything, okay, first you had to consult the doctor, you had to do the observations and everything. He said the doctors agreeing with what I'm saying. I don't know, medicine.
You have no one on your lab.
Medicine is very, I don't know, it would depend on the doctor, I guess. But I think this is the answer to many of the overactive or the faster metabolism and having all these issues with the itchy scalp or anything like that. Besides, you had to overrule, everything else. But definitely with the camera, we were able to see all those spider veins over there.
Can you hurry up?
Oh my God. Okay.
I wanna go live.
My daughter wanna go live and she's asking me to be
for another
leaving.
5 minutes. I need to pee.
I don't need to hear that, or my audience needed to hear that. It's a video who's gonna be playing all over the world.
That's not gonna go.
Anyway, any questions, you can always email me, text me, and we see you around. I'm gonna go and remove this.